Hey everybody, this is Chris and I. Are you recording or not?
We are live recording.
Okay, so
29 seconds in.
I apologize for the noises in the background. I've got Gellert and a neighbor's dog in my office with me, and they're having a little wrestle. So it's I'm not working in a brothel. It really is just two dogs making a noise.
We're believing either one because you have a virtual background. So
basically, this is our first video for our Qatar World Cup trip. We will be posting videos when we're there and on the way there. And in fact, we get to share the flight there from Boston.
And how come we can't pick our seats yet? What was the deal with that?
Because we've got cheap-ass business class seats that were done with air miles.
Oh, well, I tried to put us together. They wouldn't. It was like, no.
Yeah, British Airways suck now. It's like, even with a business class ticket, you can't pre-book your seat unless you've got gold or silver or whatever, which I no longer have. But hey, we had enough air miles for the ticket, so.
Well, I have status through One World.
Yeah, but it's all under my name, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, even me as a passenger didn't translate it across.
I don't know. I don't know if it has your number in there.
We need to do that. That might help.
Maybe.
Either way, so this call, our first one, this is our fourth World Cup. We should say that for those that are new to watching our stuff.
That's right.
This will be number 4, and the planning stage has been wildly different than all the other ones.
That's true. It's been much more stressful. I mean, so for those that don't know, we got the tickets for the airline early on because we wanted to do it on air miles.
Yep.
And they were going quickly, and we got them months ago. Yeah. And so we got the tickets without having yet got any tickets to the World Cup. And then there's different phases for getting World Cup tickets. There was phase 1 where you basically put in your name and you randomly get selected for tickets. And we got none. So then there was a phase 2 where you get randomly picked for tickets, and we got none. Yep. But the good thing is, whilst we're getting no tickets, places like Ticketmaster were scalping them. And then what happens is it opens up, and you say, I want tickets to this game, this game, this game, this game, this game, of which we got, did we get none or did we get one? We got one. So we put in a request
first
for
time
8
we
games.
Celebrated. We said we have a game.
So we put in for 8 games and we got 1 game. And then another phase opened up where it was like a free-for-all, where literally my browser sat there for, I think it was 11 hours in the queue.
The progress bar. Yeah.
And then when it came up, it was like, yeah, there's tickets available, which turns out were all just tickets for people that had wheelchairs. There was actually an extra wide disability seat, and I'm like, surely I can qualify for an extra wide seat.
Yeah.
But you needed some kind of certification, so I don't know. I'm sure I could have got it.
We could have.
It's probably like a therapy dog certification. You just go to a website and print it out.
So we should go back all the way to our first game in Rustenburg in Africa. In South Africa, we got there. It was an old stadium. Remember that 6,000 seat stadium?
Yeah, the for seats had the seats that are used for babies in high chairs.
Like this big.
So I basically used 2 seats for my butt.
You took half my ticket, said I was taking half your seat, and you sat half to the aisle.
I ended up sitting on the top of the steps. It was such tiny seats.
It was.
And
the
other thing actually with that game was we didn't realize that we'd gone up to some stupid altitude.
No, you didn't realize because I ran up the stairs and you said something about me being in shape. I go, no. I said, well, what's wrong? I said, this is the first game. You go, no, there's no air. We're just so high up. There's no air.
It was breathless at the top. But anyway, so back to Qatar, and I apologize if we mispronounce it. We're just Qatar. Stupid Westerners.
Doha. Let's just say Doha.
And so since then, they've had what they've called the resale market, which is where people that did get tickets have been able to resell them. So the person reselling it doesn't get any more money than they paid for the ticket. Actually, they get a little percentage removed by FIFA. But since then, basically lots of pressing F5 to refresh the browser every evening. I did manage to get more tickets. So now, for our 10-day trip, we have 8 days where we're going to games. So for those of you that are interested, our first game is November 29th, which is the day after we
Our
get
trip's
in.
not 10 days. It's more than that. You just miss.
Yeah, overall time takes more than 10 days, but we're only there in like on the land for 10 days. The rest of it's
we're
all
there.
set in planes.
No, so it's a Monday.
28th, we get in, and we leave on like the 8th of December.
The 9th.
We leave at like midnight, 1 in the morning or something. So it's like 10 days. And so the 29th, we have Ecuador versus Senegal. On the 30th, we have Australia versus Denmark. So we'll be asking them if they know Matt Newman again. December 1st, we have Canada versus Morocco. So that'll be a very polite game. December 2nd is going to be great. You weren't there, Chris, but I was at the Ghana-Uruguay game in South Africa, which was a fantastic one where, unfortunately, Ghana got knocked out, but they played a stonking game, and they only got knocked out because Uruguay cheated and handballed the ball that was going in the goal on the goal line.
We should say we've seen Ghana almost every cup.
Yeah, Ghana love us. So.
They love you. But that's a different story for later.
But
we've seen them almost every single cup, though. Somehow we end up with Ghana.
And then the best thing we managed to get, is we're now getting to the group stages, which is the knockout stages. We have the first place Group A versus second place Group B. So Group B is the group that England, USA, Wales, and Iran are in. So pretty much because the next day we see first place Group B versus second place Group A, guarantees we're going to see England, USA, or Wales. Personally, I'd love to see a Wales game there. England, I don't really care about because they just choke anyway.
And then what we have the reverse, we have the GH one for later on.
Yeah, so then on the 5th, we have first place Group G versus second place Group H. And I think that might be potentially Brazil versus Portugal, depending upon how that group ends. And the next day, our last game will be first place Group H versus second place Group G. Griff, quiet, buddy.
So
very professional, this whole video.
Very professional. This is how all our shows are for those that have never seen it before. So
tickets we're now set for.
Where tickets are done. We're not going.
Don't even ask how much they cost. We don't talk about that.
No, because that's been different too. Now, one thing for those, we're going to stray from the theme of this show, but we found out that usually locals pay a very substantially lower rate than anyone else does.
They're paying about $15 a ticket.
Yeah, well, it was 20, I thought, in Brazil, whatever it was.
It's a similar price.
And we pay ridiculous. I don't see them doing that in the USA in 2026.
Well, they can't because they just, Americans aren't basically as poor as those other countries.
But this is Doha. They have,
Well, yeah, but there's no locals there that are buying tickets, are there?
So Carl tackled. I had my response. So Carl tackled the early flight and then started refreshing for games. I went after accommodations where we're going to stay, which we had a friend of a friend who lovingly, made opportunity for us to possibly stay there. But we found the housing is expensive during this trip, probably more than we've ever done, of course. But the city is also very compact. So no matter where you stay.
And that's part of the reason for the expense. So for those that have followed us on other World Cups, you'll know that we stay things like 3 hours away from a stadium. Because then you get the regular hotel rates, or in our case, trucker rooms or whatever it is we stay in.
Russia,
where it's like $20 a night, and with the wonderful decor in Russia. Yeah. Whereas Qatar is literally the size of Rhode Island. So for people in places like Britain that have no idea about U.S. geography, it's like the size of the southeast of England. It's not very big. Every stadium is within an hour of another stadium. Mm-hmm. So it isn't like we can do we'll do a 3-hour drive each time to go to a game, because that would put us in Saudi Arabia.
So so let's carry that the car. Well, we'll talk about the hire card on a different show, but we can use our FIFA identification to get free transport. So all the public transportation is free, which is an amazing thing they're doing is to make it all.
And most of South Africa and the Johannesburg games, we just took public transport, which was a lot of fun. So,
those people were great.
The thing it does mean is without our long drives, we might not be able to handle the difficult questions about things like toilet rolls, which way they go on the holder and stuff.
Or some other obscure ones of being stopped by armed militia because Carl thinks the GPS is wrong all the time and took side roads. Go see that video.
I never said the GPS was wrong. I just said, hey, let's go down this road.
You said, I see another road. He did that twice now in Africa and in Russia. Let's try this other road. It looks like it connects.
Hey, we saw monkeys one time because of that.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So the accommodations, I ended up finding us an apartment in a complex of buildings just southwestern Doha, right near two metro lines, right near one of the, it's close.
Don't make it sound like you did a ton of work. Literally, I was on the webpage and said, hey, here's a place as well.
But so he doesn't understand. We were nervous about one thing is when it first started, those weren't there. Those buildings were not there. All we had was these $10,000
and the thing is, those buildings still might not be there.
Correct. Well, these are ones that have been built. At least
these are official FIFA sanctioned accommodations.
So that's another thing we did. Instead of going rogue and like Airbnbs or something, we actually went through the FIFA official site. So what we found when I started was it was either $10,000. I'm gonna tell about the other cool thing they're doing, or
I'm not sure it's cool, but they are doing
$50 a night in these barrack styled one shared hallway bathroom things they built like an Olympic venue that they built for the athletes. It was just crazy looking. They are pulling up one of which is brand new cruise ships, and you could live and stay on the cruise ship the entire time you're there. And I think it included meals, and the pools and all that. But
ended up being like $600-700 a night.
Yep,
is what they were. And they've also got porta cabins, which is containers that they've converted into hotel rooms that they are literally putting in the middle of a desert.
Yes. And my favorite was the guy that was charging $100 a night. And we said, we need this. And we bring it up. And in his backyard, he had put 10 tents, each for $100 a night that you could stay in his backyard. That's how the early housing search started, was we just couldn't find anything. There was just nothing affordable available. Then the official FIFA site came up. Interesting twist. I've twice now gone back to the hotels, and they're not even done building.
Yeah,
one of the hotels were like a few weeks away, so it's like it's not going to make it.
No, and they're starting to deport a ton of their construction workers as well.
Yeah, so
in a later one we'll talk about the ethics of Qatar having the World Cup and how we feel about that.
Yeah, so summary is 8 games, like I said, about 10 days. We found housing. We don't need a car this time, so that we don't have to do the car videos. We got the flights all worked out, and supposedly, looking at the map, I think we're within a slow stroll or one quick bus ride to some of the big major things to see while we're there as well.
Well, I was looking, and it doesn't look like there's a lot of things to see.
The Pearl, the Harbor, the other stuff.
The thing I have to say is we're going to be eating a lot of Indian food, I think.
You think?
Looking at the restaurants, it's pretty much mostly Indian foods, which I have no problem with whatsoever. But I know that you had a problem with the bunny chow, and
No, you had a problem with the bunny chow. So he's going back to South Africa.
I just had a problem an hour earlier than you. That was all.
We took our drive from Durban going back home, and all of a sudden he says, I need to pull off now. We're like, no, we got time. He said, now. And we laughed jokingly because it was no problem. An hour later, I about died. So it was not a good end run.
Anyway, we wanted to give you an intro, let you know we are going to be posting videos as we get closer and as we get there. So we do appreciate the questions you've sent so far.
Yep.
The worldcup.com, VVORLDCUP.com site is now updated with at least the Qatar logo, and we'll be posting there the videos and things like that.
We still have our YouTube channel too, right? That's where we're going to put.
We still have YouTube channel, and actually we have the YouTube handle now.
And the Facebook.
Which is the World Cup.
Oh, right.
Because somebody else took World Cup. Obviously, they know a good idea and they took it.
Apparently. So we're going to post on our Instagram. I definitely always have stuff on my Instagram. We'll be on the Facebook page, 2 Men in a World Cup. We'll be on the YouTube, and we'll probably post this. We'll cross-post it everywhere. So
yeah. So anyway, we will. I'm going to go let some dogs out before they tear out my office. And
next we have more
I don't know if you can hear that or not.
You're probably going to try to do at least 3 more before we leave, because we have other topics people have wanted and what we want to cover before we get there. And then I think we'll do better. One thing we're going to do better we've never done is higher quality, better videos as we go along, because now technology caught up with us. Remember before we were using little flip cams?
Well, we also had Andy using up our data streams every night.
I want to talk about that today on Skype.
All right.
All right, everyone. We'll talk shortly. More questions, drop them in the comments on the page or just directly to me and Carl. Because
anyway you see the video, just post the comment. The question is fine.
All right. I'll talk to you shortly. Go let them out.
Excellent.
All right. Chat later, all.
Stop the recording.
Stopping.